What's up, guys? Before we get started today, I just want to remind everybody, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to ER Comedy. It doesn't cost you anything, but it means the world to me, and I'm appreciative for everybody who's ever done one of those things. Before we get today's episode started, I want to read off, I got a couple upcoming comedy dates. September 13th, I will be in Evansville, Indiana for the Comic Invasion show, promoting that when it comes out this fall. September 14th, I'll be in Whittington, Illinois, again for Comic Invasion. On September 20th, I'll be in Clarksville, Tennessee for Comic Invasion. September 21st, I'll be in Bowling Green, Kentucky for Comic Invasion. September 27th, I will be in STL at the Crack Fox, so make sure you come out. That's also to promote the show, Comic Invasion. September 28th, I'll be back in STL with my good friend Rob T over in University City. He runs a showcase over there. It's going to be a great time. I know it's going to be a lot of fun. On October 4th, I'll be in Nashville, Tennessee. On October 5th, I'll be in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. And November 9th, I will be in Oh, it was perfect until that moment. I will be in Clarksville, Tennessee on November 9th. So, guys, make sure you come out. It should be a lot of fun. What's up, guys? My guest today is Enzo Nitti. He is a comedian. He's been on the podcast a lot before. He's here to promote some upcoming shows, and he wants to promote his fiance's fancy. She's got a travel business where they book all. They book resorts or trips to the mountains in Italy and Peru, and you go camping, but then you stay in fine hotels, and food and drinks and stuff are included. And the more he talked about it, the more I wanted to sign up. So it's a good episode, and I know you guys are going to enjoy it. Oh, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah. Real quick, you want to plug your social media? Any upcoming shows you got going on?
Yes. My social media is Enzo Comedy on Instagram, and I have a show. Probably won't be out by then. Probably already passed. But I'm super excited. I'm hosting at Helium Comedy Club in St. Louis for Gary Veeder.
Nice.
Super exciting. I was just watching his hour.
That's right. We were talking about that last night.
Dude, it's so clean. Every joke is just boom, boom, boom. I hope I don't watch too much of him.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh, you're gonna sound like him.
But I feel I get that, and I don't like watching. I don't think you'll have the problem with him, but sometimes you watch somebody's hour and you get excited to see him, and then they get there and they're still doing the same hour.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, now I have to hear this 7 times this weekend. You know.
Well, I mean, if someone's hour gets 30,000 views,
right?
And he's headlining, it's like, all right. I'm
nobody
sure
heard these jokes.
You didn't hear this.
But I'm sure Gary's not one of those guys. He's
he's turning out material left and right.
Yeah. He's a top level pro. So
he would be a good writer. I don't know if he is one, like a writer for a show or something, because I feel like just from the mechanics of his jokes, it's like he understands comedy more than most, and I think he'd be I don't know if he is or not, but I think he'd be a phenomenal writer too.
I bet he would.
Yeah.
We were talking about this last night, but he's kind of like every comic's favorite comic kind of thing, where he's not, the average person might not know his name, but if you tell it to another comic, they're like, oh, Gary Veeder?
I know. Seriously. Have you heard his story?
I don't think so.
About his dad?
No.
Oh, dude.
His dad was a con man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that he was an ESPN kid?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's such a great story.
Dude.
That's such a great story.
He has pictures with Michael Jordan. He has pictures in the Stanley Cup finals. And, it is, to pull that off is nuts. But he had that energy of just Like his dad
Just
had
a
that
con man.
energy. Yeah, he's like, I belong here.
Well, you know what con man stands for, right?
No.
Confidence man.
Really?
Because you just had the confidence to trick people.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, he seems like he should be here. So, which I have proven it many times that if you walk through somewhere and you act like you're supposed to be there, people don't stop you. They're just like, oh, okay. It help. Clipboards help. If you're carrying a clipboard, people are like, oh, he must, yeah, he's
a
official
lanyard.
clipboard,
Lanyards.
lanyard, and a cup of coffee, and people are like, "Oh, well, he's
And you have
clearly he has to.
You
be
have
here.
to be in a rush.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
be going somewhere with a purpose. It's like, I don't have time for this. I got to go.
And if you can make friends with any staff member,
And another staff sees it.
yeah, and you're like, "Oh, what's up, man?" And they're like, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" You know, and you just keep going, and even after you leave, they'll be like, "Who was that?" Be like, "I'm not really sure, but he's super friendly. I see him all the time, so
Yeah.
I guess he you know
works
what I mean? Yeah."
Or just, and you start with a group of staff and just say, hey, what's up, man? And then someone's going to wave back.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh, I guess he knows him.
Yeah, like, how do you know that guy? Oh, I thought he was waving at you.
Yeah,
I don't know. I see him around a lot, I guess.
Yeah,
So
then
you
that's it.
Yeah.
My sister had a crazy story. In college, she went to the Final Four and just snuck in. Like the Final Four NCAA championship for basketball. She just snuck in. She just walked in, and somebody stopped her and was like, who are you? It's like, oh, I'm one of the player's sister.
Oh.
And it's like, really? It's like, yeah. It's like, well, I need you to like prove it. Like, I can't just let you in. It's like, you want me to call my brother right before he's about to have the biggest game of his life? Are you fucking serious? And he started like confidently just being mad. He's like, all right, just go in. And she went to the Final Four for like free. And that was kind of nuts. I don't like sneaking into events. I think that's the rush. That's like the rush when like you steal an apple from Schnucks. You know, it's like, I get caught, but this is a rush.
Or you trade your Xbox after 30 days or whatever, or 90 days.
That's more mechanics now. That's just
there's no rush anymore.
No, but there is a rush returning it. It's like, wait a minute, I've seen you buy this 6 times this year. It's
Every
like,
3 would be like, oh man, is it Easter already? Enzo's back.
well, yeah, I don't know. I have a system. I buy it from one place, return it to the other place. You know, it's a good system.
That was one of the most viewed videos I think I've ever had. Was you
Really?
explaining like, you're like, it was so funny that Ronaldo's like, you don't do this, and you're like, I do this religiously.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and it's just like, it doesn't hurt anybody. Target's still gonna sell it. They probably reduced the price of that system for like $15.
which is still a 90% profit.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's just like, I get to get my fix, play my video games, and if you don't know what it is I'll buy a system, play it for like 30 or 60 days, and then get burned out by it, and then just return the system within the return period, and then that's it. And then I never really bought it. And then it doesn't bog down my life because I'm addicted to video games, so I have like a spree that I'll just like play till my eyes bleed and be like, all right, I'm done, return it, and then wait like 4 months to do it again.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I can't play video games. It takes my entire focus.
Yeah.
And I can't. I would never get anything else done if I was into it. Just
It's so fun.
they can be, but also it's my thing is like I'm a completionist, so like I have to like I feel like I have to finish.
Yeah.
And I'm like I can't leave this task undone, you know. I can't let Gotham City burn. I have to.
Yeah.
I have to stop the Riddler. What are you talking about?
And once you finish, it's like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, whatever. I don't.
That's why social media became an addiction for me.
Because there's no end.
There's no end.
There's no end.
But they have achievements for you to do, you know, where you're like, get 10,000 followers and then get, you know, whatever. And the best thing that ever happened was I had a video get 1.6 million views.
That was so funny, dude.
Well, thank you. But as soon as it hit 1 million views, all week I'd been watching it go up and up and up. And I was like, oh, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to hit 1 million. I think I'm going to hit. And then as soon as it hit 1 million,
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
It was the most underwhelming thing ever. And I was like,
Oh.
oh, this doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't care about this.
Yeah.
And so I just set it down. Like I don't know. I wish I could get rid of it, but I've already lost. So I put a time limit on my social media,
Which
after
you
that,
ignore.
Which
Course.
of course you ignore. But you know how many times people have messaged me about a show and I haven't seen it because I put a time limit on it, and then it's like, okay, well now I'm losing out on money or a gig. You know what I mean? So it's like trying to be productive and limiting my social media has somehow become less productive than being on it, and it's the most annoying thing in the world.
It all comes down to self-control. And because you have to create, not consume. But it's so interesting how as soon as you open it, you forget anything that you were about to do. Like as soon as you open Instagram, you're like, oh, and then you swipe, and you swipe. It's like, fuck, what did I come here for? Oh, let me message this guy. And it's like, yeah,
food, football, boobies. Like it's just like an endless stream of all your favorite things, and you're like, how?
And I have a theory.
Why would I spend any time in the real world? Everything I love is right. You know, like it's like do you ever hear about that experiment about the rats in a maze? Like, I
mean, I've heard of the
right. Well, they used to put they put rats in a maze with like cocaine, and they would reward them if they did the maze, or they could sit there and do cocaine, and the rats just kept going to they would just sit there and do the cocaine all day, and it was like, yeah, why would you do it? It's like you have a reward center right here. You don't have,
cheese or cocaine.
Yeah. Which honestly, I'm going with the cheese, especially queso blanco.
Yeah, queso blanco, real good. I have a theory. I feel like with Instagram, they get you with the good one right when you open it.
Yes.
And then you get a couple of good ones. And then it starts like introducing you to new stuff. And then once you start swiping a little quicker, they feel like, oh, they're getting a little bored. Let's pop them with another good one. And then they keep you on. And then it's just, you saw the social media documentary that came out a couple years ago?
Yeah, The Social Dilemma or something like that.
That messed me up.
The acting in it was terrible, so that took me out of it.
Yeah.
I can't stand bad acting.
Yeah.
It's like nothing will turn me off of a TV show or movie more than someone who's just like, what? Like that. You're like, ugh. But I did watch it, and it was pretty crazy how it's that dopamine hit, and I don't know, man. It's wild how addictive it can be, just like that,
Yeah. Just got to change your mindset and be like, I'm using this as a tool, not as a distraction. And that's the biggest thing. If you use it as a tool, it could be the best tool. People make millions of dollars on social media. Not even just making money off views and that, but like connections and just posting things that you're doing will it might not matter, but somebody's watching your story. Somebody's watching your path, and then something pops up and it's like, oh, hey man, I've been watching you do this, that. I'm interested in doing something. Hell, even what you told me yesterday about the opportunity about the podcast and doing this and that. It's that wouldn't have happened if you weren't posting. It's like, you might be thinking you're posting into the void, but it's like somebody's watching.
I kind of have this opinion when I started this. I had this theory, kind of like the Field of Dreams, where it's like, if you build it, they will come. And, you put out the podcast, you put out clips. Some of them don't do well. Some of them do great, whatever. But people see that, and then they're like, hey, do you know anybody who has a podcast studio? Or do you know anybody that can record a podcast or whatever? And people are being sent my way. And they're like, hey, would you be interested in doing this or that or that? And you're like, yeah. So.
And you never know who you're going to help.
Exactly.
You might be helping someone that's just getting started, but they may take off. And then that's somebody that you have a connection with now.
Take me with you.
Yeah, please. It's so hard. Please, how did you do it?
Please, can I come with you?
Oh, my God.
I don't know. There's the thing that I can't stand is it's suggesting to me now to get the little blue check mark. Like it pops. That's one of the things that'll pop up, and it's like, you could be eligible is what it says, but it's like to be eligible, you have to buy it.
Yeah.
Like
That's it.
That's it. That's all the eligibility is.
Are you not broke?
Yeah.
You're eligible.
And you go through, and I was like, oh, maybe I should do it. Maybe I should be verified just because maybe it would mean something to somebody. And you go through and you read like what's included when you get verified. And one of the things is it shows your content will be shown in your followers' feed. And it's like, so you're not showing it now? What's the point of having followers if you're not going to show it?
I thought about that because I follow X amount of people, but I only always see the same
like
people.
7 accounts, yeah.
And they're verified. So maybe it is a thing. But it's more helpful if you have more followers. Does it help you get more followers? I think your content helps you get more followers. Then once you get the followers, then it's like, then you get more. I think the verification adds more activity from your followers. That would be a plus. But yeah, I have no one to follow me. I do a lot of following, mostly to cars, but it's just Instagram. I love the idea of posting. I love the idea of making sketches, making funny stuff, but it's like I never do it. It's just there's always something. I was like, whatever. There's a file on my phone that have like Instagram reel ideas, and I have so many of them, and I just never do it.
For the longest time, for the first couple months after I started this, I would, make an episode, edit it, get some clips ready, and then when it was time to post, by the time it was time to post, I was so sick of the clips because you have to go through and like watch it over and over. It's like the joke was dead, and I was like, I don't want to post. I don't care.
So
it's insane.
I've kind of tinkered with the idea of paying for someone to do it, but it's just like that's like an investment that you don't know if you're gonna get it back. Like you could, for somebody to create a post for you anywhere between $50 to $100 to like make it like social media trendy or like viral, eligible or whatever. And then it's just like, okay, do I have that much disposable income? Probably not. And it's like, for what? But like, let's say you spent $1,000 1 year on just your post, and then that gets you,
Let's talk after that. After that, I might know a guy.
All right.
I might know a guy who could help you. Yeah.
All right. Because I just want to create. But the editing just screws me. I'm just like, I don't want to do this and that. And it's just.
Yeah. See, I don't mind the editing. I actually like it. That's what I went to school for.
Did you?
Yeah. To learn how to. It was technically cinematography school. It was called digital media production, but you learned cinematography, sound design, editing, kind of all Photoshop, Premiere Pro, all that stuff, which is how I learned how to do this stuff. And I love it. It's not bad, and it's kind of fun to sit down. Clay Beiersdorfer?
No.
He was at the mic last night.
Clay, yeah.
Yeah. We sat down once and just wrote out like sketch ideas, and then we filmed one real quick. And then I sat at my computer, and he watched on this screen, and we were like, okay, make this part black and white, punch in on this part, let's do this, let's do that. And it was actually a lot of fun.
Really?
Yeah, to do, and we want to start doing more sketches, or I do. Because I don't mind it. I think it's kind of fun to create that. Once it comes to posting and going out on social media, that's when I'm like, you use the wrong hashtag and it, gets buried. You post at the wrong time and it gets.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so annoying to me, and so
we're gonna have to start doing stuff because I love that part of it. I love SEOs. I love the statistics. I love being able to see which keywords work. A to B testing, split testing, like because I used to do Amazon, and Amazon was huge with keywords, huge with the type of posting, the marketing that you have to do. This marketing worked. We use this thumbnail. Let's try this one, and that one didn't work. And that stuff excite me. So if we could do sketches.
Well, I don't know why I'm being shady about this. There's a guy that helps me. His name's Chris. What's up, Chris? Hey, buddy. I don't know why I was hiding your name before. Yeah. Everybody shout out Chris. Hi,
You mean-
Chris.
you mean Chris?
Yeah, Chris.
You know Chris?
Yeah, you know Chris?
I don't
The
know
only
Chris.
reason I'm not, his last name's Marboli?
Don't worry, Chris. We'll
Sorry,
blank
Chris.
it out.
I've never had to say it out loud. We've met, so we met on Zoom.
Yeah.
And he helps me out, and he's been great, actually, since he started helping. Like, things are going up and up and up, which is cool. But I just kind of like, this is not my area of expertise.
Okay.
But yeah, let's
do it.
Yeah, I'll sit maybe.
Because we both have time. Like,
Yeah.
We both have time to do it, and not a lot of people have the time that we have.
Well, he's on a shoot right now, and he'll be busy until I think he said like next Wednesday or something like that. But
Yeah.
we'll sit down. Maybe the three of us can do a Skype meeting, or I can just I can give you his information,
Yeah.
and you could contact him, and we could all work together.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude. He's from New York City. He did stand-up comedy for a while. He's thinking about getting back into it, but he
He lives here.
no, he travels all over. Like he's kind of like you. He's constantly traveling.
Yeah.
And I will set up something, put it in a Dropbox for him. He pulls it out. We'll do his thing and send it out. And
Yeah.
it's been a great system so far. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Can't say enough. You're doing a good job, Chris.
Are we on blow? We've had so many business ideas.
Yeah,
so
dude,
far.
should we start a bar? Are we like the rats in the maze?
Yeah.
Just,
Hey man, you got any cheese?
that'd be so
Yeah.
crazy. Like that's what the rats do in the maze. They're like, "Hey, you want to do this maze?" No, but we should start a bar. Yeah, man. What are we gonna call it? Squeaks.
Oh, Squeaks or the Mousetrap. Oh, the Mousetrap.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. The Mousetrap.
Oh, speaking of Mousetrap, do you remember the old board game Mousetrap,
Yes.
where it was like the marble would go down
And then the little yeah.
yeah, and they redid it recently, like they've remade it, and I went and I was like looking at it. It looked so stupid.
Yeah.
And I was like, why did you ruin this? It was
Yeah.
perfect. Like,
They did the same thing with Sorry.
did they really?
They messed it up. They messed up Sorry. They put like 3 dies inside the little box, and it was just like, I don't know. They messed it up.
Sorry.
Yes.
That's a good one. What's the best board game?
Ooh, best board game. Depends how strategic. Because like overall, I think Monopoly is best board game, just because it's like
I think it's yeah. I mean,
across the board.
it is a king.
Yeah.
It is definitely one of the greats.
Yep. Monopoly Deal is the card game of Monopoly, which is super fun. But I think strategic wise, Settlers of Catan. I love that. You
I've never played it.
Oh, it's so fun. It's a lot of strategy. It's really fun. You're just trading materials for land, and it's just very strategic. But it's a lot of fun. But it takes a lot of strategy. It's like Monopoly on steroids, but medieval steroids. So it's like kind of it's pretty much
Medieval steroids ye old steroids. Yeah.
ye lift.
Dost thou even hoist?
Oh man, yeah. So I think. What do you think?
Oh man, Battleship will always have a place in my heart. I loved Battleship growing up. Sorry, which is kind of the same thing as like my grandmother had this game that is, I mean, it's just like Sorry, but the board itself was made in like 1909. It was like this big wooden board with like wooden pegs and slots, and she called it Parcheesi.
I've heard that.
Yeah. So it's like, I think Parcheesi became Sorry. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just the same thing.
I think that name Sorry came up because it's like, why would you name this game Parcheesi? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's like-
Why did you make this so hard to pronounce? I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. You guys want to play Sorry?
Yeah, let's go play that dumb game. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah. No, but it's the same concept. You can knock people back to the start and,
Yeah.
whatever. And That was fun. I had lots of memories with my grandmother as a little kid playing. Man, I loved that game. But I would definitely say, man, Battleship's such a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of them. There's this new one that my kids and I have played before. It's called One Night a Werewolf. It's an app on your phone, but it comes with cards. And everybody sits around a table, and you shuffle out these cards, and you'll get a card. You get like 4 cards, and each card has like a different villager on there. There's like a hunter, a werewolf, a butcher, just like a whole bunch of different stuff, a thief, whatever. And then you play the prompts, and it's like, everyone put your heads down. So you put your head down.
I've played this.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, but
Yeah.
you have to be good at you have to be good at lying.
You got to figure out who the werewolf is.
Yeah. And it's fun, but my son gets real frustrated because he's young and he doesn't like to lie. So we're like, "Are you the werewolf?" And he'll be like,
No.
he just gets like real, like his face just like contorts, and he's like, yes, like that. We're like, okay, all right, Grayson's a werewolf.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't like lying. And we're like, I know, buddy. You're
Gets so.
a good boy. You're a good boy.
And then he just turns into a werewolf.
No. He just rips his shirt.
So Melanie and I, every time we do a group trip and we travel, we play the murder game. And the murder game, it's great when you're playing. You're in a group setting for a couple of days, like if you're like on a camping trip or whatever it is. And what it is everybody gets. There's a couple of bags with people's names that are on there, a location, and an item. And so let's say, there's a bunch of people, and I pick your name, Eric. And I have to, and the item is a fork, and the location is under a tree. I have to give you a fork under a tree. But you don't know you don't know that I have to murder you. You don't know the item, and you don't know the location. So I have to trick you into taking my item in that location, and I'll be like, hey, you want a bite of my food? He's like, sure. He's like, here, try it.
And you hand the
and then
fork.
And then you'll be like, you're dead. And then how the game continues, and you can't tell people that you're dead because you also have somebody to murder. And if I kill you, then I take the person that you have to murder. And so you have to murder Jack with a ball indoors. And then so I have to take your murder. Now and then nobody knows who's dead and who's alive. And then at the end of the trip, it's like, all right, who's alive? And then that's how you see who the winner is.
That's so much fun.
It's so fun.
I love that because it could last days.
Yeah, but it builds trust issues. Like, you don't know who to trust. It's like, hey, do you have deodorant? It's like, yeah. It's like, all right, put it down. I'll get it from the floor. But don't hand it because you have to hand it to them. You can't like throw it to them. They have to voluntarily take the item.
Right.
So it's super fun. But then it does build. Like, it's like you can't trust anybody by day 4. It's like, I'm not taking anything from anyone.
It's kind of like real world Clue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's another great game.
Great game.
I loved that game.
Yeah. And guess who?
Yeah.
Guess.
Yeah. I always play my mom is terrible at that game.
Really?
She's so bad. It's just.
Does she put down the wrong ones?
No, she just asks the weirdest questions. Like, how there's like a strategy to it where you're like, you just ask like,
does he have glasses?
Yeah, is your person wearing a hat? No? Okay, well, you put down all the people with hats. You put down, is it a girl? No? Okay, you put down all the girls. And it's a process of elimination. She'll ask the worst questions. She'll be like, does your person look worried like that? And you're like, what? No.
Did your person vote for Clinton?
Yeah. Does your person have childhood trauma? Mom, I don't know.
Is your person 6'5"?
Yeah.
Guys, just
is your person behind on his mortgage payments? Like what? It's like, Mom, these are physical descriptions.
Yeah.
It's like, did your person give up on going to culinary school? Like, I don't know, Mom.
Did your person cheat on his wife? Yes. All right. Here you go.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's a funny bet.
yeah,
That is a funny bet.
see, there's so many things that it's like. I talked to a comedian the other day, and they were like, "Man, I'm just really struggling. I can't come up with
Anything.
any new material. I don't think there's nothing funny anymore." I'm like, "Are you insane?
Everything's funny.
Everything. Those are some of the biggest fights I've ever gotten in with my wife. Is just her, like me saying something at the wrong time, and her turning around and just being like, "Not everything's a joke, Eric." And I'm like, "Not everything's a joke yet,
Yeah,
Kelly." Like,
exactly.
you know.
Yeah, I know, but it takes these conversations. It takes hanging out.
Yeah.
You know, because it's hard if you're just sitting down on your desk and be like, all right, be funny, think of something. It's tough. But if you think of like a board game, but like how long did it take us to get to one good idea? Probably like 10 minutes of just back and forth.
Yeah.
And you just need to go through a bunch of shit to find gold.
You also just gotta. I think it helps to have someone that you like. You know what I mean? Like if you're meeting someone for the first time, it's kind of hard to like build that. I don't know. You don't want to be silly around a stranger. You know what I mean? But if you've got a friend,
You can
like,
trust them. It's like, all right, we're just
Yeah. Do you want to come? Like, that's what I texted you yesterday. I was like, "Do you want to come be silly with me?"
I want to be so silly.
I
Dude.
mean, let's go get silly.
Yeah.
Uh,
But sometimes when you do talk to, well, not strangers, but like people that aren't comics. Like the other day, I went to drop off my dog at my fiance's mom's house, and we were leaving, and she was just like, "Hey, did I tell you that the dark web took my social security number?" And I was like, "What?" And it's like, "Yeah, they took my social security number." It's like, "How did you know that?" I was like, "I got a notification." It's like, "Oh." And then the phone was ringing. I was like, "Oh, I gotta go. AT&T's calling me." And then that was like the whole conversation. But just like, I laughed about that for hours. I can't turn that into a joke, but it's just like, that wasn't funny to her. She was sick, and she
Yeah.
just got a notification from a spam, be like, "Your social security number has been compromised." And it's like, I got a notification.
what is it about like our parents' generation where it's like every scam,
Yeah.
man, they just fall right into it, and
It's-
you're like, "It's not real, guys."
Dude, the Persian prince or the Nigerian prince?
Nigerian prince. That
My
was the
mom was crying in joy when she got that email. Like, she was like, "This is our prayer. I've been praying for this." And my sister was like, "Mom, cut it out. This is fake." I mean, this was 2010, like 2009. So it was just like, and she just believed it. And now she can't, like, if she's in front of a computer, the stress level that she has, you think she's like in active combat. She's just like, wait, no, stop. I can't do, no. And then she just like shuts it down. It's like, I can't, but she's getting better. I've given her tasks, be like, all right, send me an email.
So, my parents, I don't know why, but my entire life, they've just had like the most trouble with any type of technology. I mean, even our like our TVs, like growing up, we would have to use like 3 remotes just to turn it on. And I would be like, "Guys, why is your TV set up like this?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, we don't know. It's just how it came, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Well, I've got the picture on, but the sound's off." And they're like, "Oh, okay, well here." And then they just start mashing buttons until it all comes on.
Press it.
Yeah.
Press it. Press it.
Press and hold.
Yeah.
Press and hold. And you're like, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop. What are you doing?" I went with, my mom was talking about getting rid of cable one time, and she wanted to get a Fire Stick, and she was like, I'll just watch things off of that, or whatever. And we went to Micro Center, and the guy sitting there trying to help us, and she kept asking if the TVs came with FUBU, and I was just watching the two of them get more and more frustrated with each other. Like, and he's like, "Ma'am, I'm pretty sure Fubu's a clothing
Yeah.
company, you know? And she's like, no, I've seen the billboards.
Yeah.
I want the Fubu. Like that. And I'm
Well,
just like,
Fubu is a streaming service.
is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, well,
But-
joke's on me then.
yeah, but-
Sorry, Mom. I owe you
But
an
if you don't know,
apology.
it's like a football, like a soccer streaming service. It's like a sports
Oh,
streaming service,
okay.
but it's mostly soccer. But yeah, but if you don't know that, it's not very common here in the States. It's very European.
Oh.
And it's just like, yeah, it is a clothing line.
Yeah, like, I was like, as far as I know,
Yeah.
Fubu is for us, by us.
Yeah.
And,
She's not us.
yeah, which, did I tell you, that's where, like, all my, it's like I get anxiety about clothes because I saw a Fubu t-shirt or a hoodie one time when I was in, like, I think it was like 6th grade, and I really liked it, so I bought it, and then I wore it to school, and one of my friends was like, hey, man, you know what Fubu is, right? And I was like, it's just cool clothing. And he's like, yeah, it's for us, by us. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And he goes, no. For us, by us,
Yeah.
not for you.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, oh, like that.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I'm like, is this cool? Can I wear this? Is this a me thing or is this an us thing? Or is
Yeah.
it just a you thing?
That's funny. I was a big fan of Fat Farms shoes.
I won't. So you know that Kendrick Lamar song is like, they not like us. They
Mm-hmm.
not. I won't sing that in public because I'm like, they're not like us or like all of us.
Or
Like,
like-
is this like something we can all
Is
get
it
in
an
on?
artist thing?
Yeah. And there was a song that came out in high school that said "One Blood." It was like "One Blood, blood,"
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I wouldn't sing it because I'm like, what does that mean? Like one,
Yeah.
like, does that mean like one race? Because
Yeah.
like, I don't want that. You know, like, I'm not.
I don't know if you know,
I'm not okay with that.
they have a big problem in World War II.
Yeah. Like German people talking about blood gets a little sketchy real quick, you know?
Can you imagine just Hitler in that music video? It's like blah blah blah, just like with a bunch of Jamaican chicks. Just around. All right, let me ask you this: do you think this is smart or dumb? My fiance's mom has a landline just in case she loses her cell phone. She can call herself.
For
If you don't have another
someone
person,
of that generation, I understand it.
yeah,
Because I can see how they would just be like, well, if I lose my cell phone,
yeah,
that's it. How would I ever possibly contact the world again? You know, it's
yeah.
like, but you and I would just, you know,
Well, can you just ask, like, "Hey Siri, where are you?"
yeah, and
I'm over here.
See,
I don't turn that on though.
um,
That scares me. I don't like it when they listen.
yeah,
I know,
they're
but-
always listening.
I know they're always listening. I have it turned off specifically, and there was one time where she just like chimed in and was like, "I can't hear you because I'm turned off," and I was like,
Exactly.
"What do you mean?" Well,
You did.
yeah, you heard something.
Yeah.
You're listening to something.
Could you repeat that?
Yeah, we're. I think I was talking about this the other day. I was asking somebody what's the best conspiracy theory, and I don't know if this counts as a conspiracy theory, but I think that privacy, the whole concept of privacy, will be extinct in 50 years. I think everybody will know everything about everyone. You know what I mean? Like, especially if Neuralink becomes a thing and more people start doing it.
Yeah.
You're just going to know. You're just going to know each other's thoughts. And, like, you know how, like, a secret is super embarrassing to you, but then it gets out to the world and most people are just like, yeah, we don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, okay, whatever. It's like, but to you, it's like, oh, no, people are going to know. Like,
Do you think that'll be relieving?
it might be relieving. It might not be that bad of a
Yeah,
thing.
it might be like, because you know how.
Unless you're a pedophile. Then, yeah.
Oh, I'm so relieved. Everybody knows now.
Speaking of which, have you seen that video of Chris D'Elia is on a podcast and someone tells him that they're like, yeah, Snapchat pictures and videos don't go away. Like, you can save them. And he's sitting there and he's like, what? Like, just freezes, and he's like, and this is like right before all that stuff came out about,
no.
yeah. It's so funny.
And then he started saving them.
Somebody sent me that video. Well, I think he was sending videos thinking, oh, this will disappear. What's the big deal? And then it came out that he had been messaging girls that were like 15 and stuff like that.
How is he like back?
Is he?
I mean, I've seen clips. He's all tatted up. And that's why you need to do drugs. Because you find an outlet that's a little worse than drugs. Because he was like 100% completely sober.
Yeah.
And he's a hilarious comedian. Like, I have some bits in my head that are just like, just him, the flying bit cracks me up every time. But it's just like, well, like, okay, Kevin Spacey. I mean, he's removed from all existence.
I think he's coming back, though. I think he's even coming back.
I mean, he's the king.
He's so good. He's
so
so good at acting.
Oh,
That's
man.
the thing. Like, I watched Baby Driver the other day.
Yeah.
And I forgot he was in that. And he popped up, and I was like, oh, yeah. Whatever happened to Kevin Spacey? Yeah. But man, he nailed it.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
He's great.
And, yeah, okay, he touched a couple peepees. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, allegedly, from what I understand, they were all over the age of consenting. You know what I mean?
Which
so
varies
it's like
per state.
everything that I know of was with like at least 19 years old and up. So if he did something under that, I don't condone that. It's bad. But there's a lot of people out there that did a lot worse with a lot younger, you know? And it's like, I mean,
He's really good.
he's good. And you were above the age.
Yeah, why is no one going after Leo? I mean, Leo's he's teetering. But
Yeah.
the thing is, his level of severity in that aspect compared, and if you put it in XY, and then the level of talent, I mean, it really surpasses. It goes above the line of where it's like, all right, he can get away with it.
Well, and also the people he's dating are 20 to 25-year-olds. So it's like, yeah, it's creepy, but it's still
What did Kevin Spacey do?
the same. I mean,
He was 19.
it's just because it was also gay, you know, and
That's
it was
it.
like people were like, "Ew, he's gay."
I
But it's like,
love that was the spin that he was trying to do. It's like, it's not pedophilia. It's me being gay. It's
Yeah.
like, well, all right, maybe. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I was talking about this with somebody the other day, and I put a clip out, and people hated it. But have you seen these like vigilante videos where people pretend to be underage kids and
Yes.
then meet up with people?
Yes.
If the person that shows up to meet with the kid is a fully functioning human, beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No remorse, no forgiveness. But a lot of these videos, the people showing up are severely mentally handicapped. And you can tell that just from seeing them. They're kind of, you know.
And then you're just picking
and
on
then you're just bullying somebody who's,
doesn't know any better.
yeah. And it's like, yes, they should not be trying to talk to underage girls. But the thing is, they're trying to talk to any
Anyone.
girl
Yeah.
who will give them any attention because they're handicapped.
Mm-hmm.
They just want, and you egg this on, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, you're a jerk. Like,
Yeah.
you
For
know,
a clip.
call a cop and be like, hey, this guy wants to meet with underage girls. And I bet you they'd talk to the guy and be like, hey, man, you can't do this. And he'd be like, okay, I'm sorry, you know, whatever. Now, if someone shows up and they are a fully functioning adult, game on.
But then,
Beat the shit out of them. I don't care.
But here, let me play devil's advocate. Then you start letting those people go. You know, the people that, you know, have some issues that are mentally, and then it's like, oh, fuck, I got caught. Go into mode.
go full retard.
Yeah, it's like, this is the only way to get out
Down
of it.
syndrome engaged.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like, then you have to play that for the
no,
rest
but
of your
you
life.
can know. I mean, you can't hide anything on the internet. So
Yeah.
people will do the research and be like, all right, this is. I knew a guy in the Marine Corps who became a recruiter, and he got caught trying to
Recruiting.
meet up. He said he was there to recruit, but it's like, really? You're trying to meet a 15-year-old girl behind a movie theater at 10:30 at night to recruit her for the, you know.
I got to make sure
And-
she's ready for the field.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, all right. I remember that came out, and a couple of the people that I was in with were like, "Hey, dude, do you remember Sergeant blah 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 blah?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Watch this," and they sent it, and I was like, "Oh, I knew you were a freak." You know,
Yeah.
like I knew there was. You could tell, like there's always something a little off about people like that. You're like, there's something not right about you.
Yeah.
And it's weird because he was like 5'6" and like 130 pounds, you know, so he's like a real short, scrawny guy. But I was like, I don't feel comfortable around you.
Yeah.
There's something I don't
Weird.
like. Isn't that weird how you can just pick up on people's energy?
Mm-hmm.
That's insane to me. Or like have you ever walked into somebody's house and you could tell they were fighting, and it just feels
Tense.
tense, and
Yeah.
you're like,
Ugh.
what
Yeah.
is that? Why what sense
It's
is
energy.
that?
It's energy. I'm a big believer. We're just energies in human bodies, and the more you're honed into your own energy, the more you can pick up other people's energy. And that's a good skill to have, because some people are oblivious, and that's the people that get into trouble. Those are people that just walk into a situation and just don't know the severity of it.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
yeah.
oh, you put yourself in a bad situation.
Oh
now.
yeah, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have no situational awareness whatsoever. I saw a guy I saw a guy the other day on one of those like renter scooters, those Lime scooters, and he was like swerving around, like being all stupid, and he like hopped a curb, but like right in front of a car, and just went over the hood
Yeah.
because he wasn't paying attention. And I was like, yeah, you were too busy showing off being a jackass.
Yeah.
And I laughed.
Yeah.
I was just like, you dumbass. Like, yeah, I had no sympathy for him whatsoever. Like, if somebody else is, you know, they're just cruising along and all of a sudden, like, they hit a divot and flip, you run over and like, oh my gosh, you all right? That sucks. You know, that was an accident. But if you're just being stupid,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry, you know.
If life gives you a Lime scooter, you
Make limeade.
I don't know.
What's the best Gatorade flavor?
Ooh, it's the glacier,
Glacier Freeze?
Yeah.
Light blue?
light blue glacier freeze.
I can tell you're a classy guy because you called it by the flavor and not the color.
Yeah, yeah.
I always go with color.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I always say that. And
But
people are
there's-
like, dude, that's trash.
But there's so many different blues.
Yeah, but really any blue. I will take just about any blue. Now, this one, Glacier Freeze is my favorite. Cool Blue is second. I forgot what this one's called. But it's like a in between the two. I do like this one, the white one.
The white one's good.
It's like Arctic Cherry or something
Yeah.
stupid like
I'm a
that.
big fan of the original, the orange.
Okay, that was my next. What do you think is the original Gatorade?
Orange.
Really?
Orange for sure. What do you think?
I think it's yellow.
I'll tell you this.
It probably is orange.
And it's because where it came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah.
University of Florida.
So
yeah.
it had to have been orange. Yeah, I like it. It's just the amount of sugar, the amount of phlegm that I get from drinking a Gatorade is nuts. I haven't drank a Gatorade in such a long time.
Are you a Gatorade or a Powerade man?
Gatorade?
Really?
Yeah, Powerade is like that's like
It's peasant liquid.
yeah. I mean, it's probably better for you, but Gatorade's it's got me. I mean, I grew up with a Gatorade. Every like football, we'd always have a cup of Gatorade. Yeah, Powerade is trash.
I think the reason why I think yellow is the original is because that's always what we had it in sports. Like the big gallon drum, they would just pour the packet in with the water and stir.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was always yellow. It
Always.
was never anything else. My least favorite flavor of just any drink is fruit punch. I hate the red one.
Really?
I hate it. It can never get cold enough to me. Fruit, for whatever reason, fruit punch always leaves like a little bit in the back of your throat where you're just like,
Yeah, it's a lot.
it's like it could be in ice for 6 days, and then you take a sip, and it's like it's cold on my lips, but for
Right.
whatever reason, in the back of my throat, it's like still warm. I don't know. The Hawaiian punch was the worst.
Hawaiian punch.
You can never. It doesn't matter how cold you get it. You could freeze it into ice cubes, and you'd still be like,
It stinks.
yeah.
I don't like Hawaiian punch.
No, I don't think anybody does,
All right, let's see what else we got.
except for Greg Warren because it's made by P&G.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, shout out Greg. Best concert you've ever been to? Are you a concert guy?
Not a big concert guy.
I'm not either.
Not a big concert guy. I've been to maybe 3 in my life. It's probably the first one I ever went to, which was in 2010. I saw Lady Antebellum, and it was awesome because I made out with a girl that I was dating, so that was
Made
cool.
out with the lady
The lady.
on stage.
No, just a lady. And yeah, I'm trying to think. I saw Big Sean before Big Sean was big. That was cool.
You saw Medium Sean?
I saw Medium Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw him like at an outdoor concert that was like $5, and I got to meet him afterwards. He did a meet and greet. And this was 2011. I mean, he was still kind of big, but like he wasn't who he was now. And I'm trying to think of any other concerts that I've been to. Not a big concert guy. I like going to plays. I'm a big play guy.
Really?
Yeah, I like going to Broadway shows because there was a stint that I would flip Broadway tickets, and sometimes the tickets wouldn't sell. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going to this show, and yeah, I would just go to Broadway shows. Wicked.
What's the best play you've ever been to?
The best play is probably it's called The Worst Play Ever. And it's just about a group of people trying to make a play, and everything goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really, really funny. I was crying laughing. I mean, Hamilton it's a lot. I mean, it is a spectacle, but it's just a lot. And
That'll be here next weekend. My daughter's going to Hamilton.
really,
Yeah, my daughter and my mom are going, and I don't know. I tried when it came up Disney Plus. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's so good, you have to watch it." And I turned it on, and I was like, within
10 minutes.
30 minutes, I was like, and I turned it off
Yeah.
or whatever. And my kids were like, "This is so stupid. Why did you make us watch it?" And then, of course, my daughter's friends were like, "Hamilton's great," and she was like, "Hamilton's amazing," and I'm like, "All right."
Dude, the profit margins on Hamilton is nuts. Like, especially with these scalpers, because if you get them, they only limit you to like 4 people, but you can make $500 a.
I thought you meant like as the play as a whole.
No, well,
because
I'm
like
sure.
there's not super elaborate sets and stuff like that. Like,
It's just shit.
Yeah,
It's just
it's
like
just-
everybody likes it.
yeah,
No, it's when you flip those tickets, it's like $500 a ticket, which is crazy because like usually you're like profiting like 20 to 30% per ticket, which a ticket's $90. You probably make like 10, $15 a ticket, but people buy. I got one of my best friends. That's all he does for a living. He pretty much just buys tickets and resells them, and he only anywhere between 15 to 30% profit on each ticket, but at any given moment he has $1 million worth of credit card debt, and it's just like rotating. He's just buying $50,000 to $100,000 to $200,000 a day of just tickets, and it's just nuts. And I'm like, how do you even? I mean, he lives his life just on points, like American Express points.
that gives me so much anxiety,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
When you said $1 million of credit card debt, I just was like,
Yeah, but he pays it off every month. It's just like every month because he's buying $1 million worth of tickets every month, and then he gets like 1.2, and then does that over and over, and it's just
that to me seems like gambling. That to me
It is a
seems
little
the
bit of
exact
gambling.
same as like
because you got to make sure that your tickets sell.
yeah.
And if your tickets don't sell, then you're stuck with 300 tickets. Or what if he got fucked when the pandemic hit? All the tickets got canceled.
No.
And it's like, hey, we're gonna postpone these tickets, but you already paid for them, so we'll give you your tickets, when we're back and running. And he was like in debt for multiple years, and because he couldn't get his money back because the shows weren't canceled, they were just postponed. After a while, they started getting refunded, but that was a stint that it was like, dude, I might not make out of this. And then obviously he did. He's doing great. That dude makes like, I don't know, 15 grand a day on just flipping tickets. But like,
And his name and address will be at the bottom of the screen.
yeah, if you want everybody.
Yeah, if you want to go by and say hi.
Yeah. But yeah, that I did it for a stint, but then I got caught with my pants down and I didn't sell like 35 tickets at $90 a pop. And I'm like, oh, this goes all my profit for the whole year. I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, dude, so I'm so bad at math and so bad with numbers and stuff like that I just anything like that just gives me so much anxiety because I don't have the confidence to be like, yeah, I can flip this. You know what I mean? But so to just to think about $1 million in debt would just be like
a
crippling.
constant $1 million in debt. Like it's just always it's just always on because you pay it off at the end of the year, then you start buying more tickets, and it's just like then you keep the top, and then it's just doom. It's nuts. But something that he taught me, it's like things aren't expensive or inexpensive. Things are either a good deal or a bad deal. Because you have to spend $1 million, but then you make 1.5 is like that's not expensive. That's a good deal. And it's like, but if you're losing money, that's just a bad deal. So it's just like, get your mind out of not thinking of things as expensive or not expensive. Think about it as like, am I going to make more money or less money if I do this? And it's like, more money. It's like, all right, then I'm going to do it.
Is your friend Donald Trump?
Kind of, dude.
That's insane to me, man. I have trouble selling tickets to a comedy show because it's like, people are like, hey, what do you want to set the ticket price at? And I'm like,
free, I don't know.
Whatever. Is $10 too much?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And but then you see some people and they're like, yeah, I charge $50 a ticket and blah 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 blah. And that's the thing is I'm starting to get people messaging me to book me for shows, which is great. But they ask me questions like, how much do you charge for like a 30-minute set? And I don't know. I never know what to say. So I've asked a couple headliners recently that I've worked with, like, hey, how do you price? You know, like, when you were at my level, like, you know, obviously you're bigger now and you can do what you want, but when you were kind of starting out and people would approach you, how did you, you know, kind of feel it out and one guy told me you charge as much money as it takes for you to not be mad you left the house. So, like, whatever it costs for you to not be like, oh, I don't want to go do this, that's your price.
But there's also a going rate.
Yes. But I was like, the problem with that is that I love doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
So I'll leave the house for like $10.
Yeah,
you know,
like,
I'd be like, oh, yeah, you want me to come tell
I
jokes?
know,
I
that's
love
tough.
telling jokes, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I love hanging out. I love being fun. And so it's like, I never know.
How much do you want to get paid? It's like, how good are your chicken fingers?
I don't know.
It's like, what's your fries situation? You know?
Yeah. If it's crinkle cut, don't even come to me, all right? I hate
It's
crinkle
not my
cut fries.
rider.
Yeah. What would you put in your rider?
Ooh, what would I put in my rider? Fiji water.
Ooh, all right.
I think Fiji water is so classy.
I mean, it is the best.
It's so good. I'd probably put, I like to be a little hungry on stage, so not a lot of food.
But I would like to have something in the green room waiting for after the set. That would be nice.
Yeah. How about something ridiculous? Like, just, I don't know, an even number of grapes between like green and purple. It's like,
I want 37 green grapes and I want 42 purple grapes. Like, you're just like, you want random numbers of specific things.
And then someone comes in, it's like, hey, 10 minutes. It's like, I got to count these grapes.
I want a bowl of all red Skittles or I'm not walking out on stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's
honestly, what I would do is emergency, those packets of just pure vitamin C, that would probably be in there because, at the end of the show, you got to shake 100 hands. Hey, thanks for coming. Hey, I appreciate you being here. You know, whatever. And you don't have to do that, but I feel like I do because without people showing up, I wouldn't get to do what I like to do.
Yeah.
And you know, you bought a ticket, so you're paying me, whatever. I want to thank you for doing that. But also, there's some really nasty people out there. And last weekend, I had a dude. I watched him like do like that, and then he saw me, and he was like, "Oh, hey, man!" And it stuck out his hand, and I was just like,
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah, thank you for coming.
That and Purell. Have some
Purell. I would want some type of mint or some type of like those Listerine strips or something because I like
the freshness.
I like feeling fresh.
Yeah, yeah.
Plus, I know a lot of people with really bad breath that I would love to just be like, would you like one?
Here's one. Yes. Oh my God. I've been talking to people that have some stanky ass breath. I'm like, how do you?
I know mine's not always like the greatest breath, but
it's not bad.
There's some people that I've talked to recently where I'm like, hey man, I think one of your teeth is dying.
Yeah.
I think you have like a rotten tooth. Like you might want to get that checked out because it is.
And 9 times out of 10, they're smokers too. I know who you're talking about.
There's like 3 people that I'm talking about that I can.
People are gonna be listening.
Yeah. But it's just like, how do you not brush your teeth? Like, I woke up late today, and I was worried I was gonna make it on time. But the very first thing I did was just scrub the shit out of my teeth because I was like,
"You a big flosser?"
No, not a big flosser.
That's where the smell comes from.
I know. That's what I need to get better at. My wife yells at me all the time. I want one of those water picks.
Yeah.
That I can.
Water picks are cool, and especially if you can just do it in the shower.
Oh.
Dude, one of my favorite things to do is brushing my teeth in the shower. You're just like, I like to take long showers. I'm in there. It's like I'm cleaning my body. Why don't I just clean my mouth? I'll floss in there, and what I like to do, floss, mouthwash, then brush. That's the order. People always do it backwards, but you gotta floss to take all the trash in between your teeth. Then you rinse it out, and then you do a wash.
I do this sometimes if I know that I'm gonna like eat soon. Like I'll brush my teeth in the morning, brush my teeth at night. But sometimes like in the middle of the day, I'll put like a little bit of Listerine in my mouth and then take a toothbrush and brush it around.
Done that.
Like that, and it's like
It's a quick
rinse.
Yeah,
like a quick scrub off. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
This will get me through the next 4 hours or whatever until dinner.
And then you talk to somebody with shitty breath. It's like, why the fuck did I even waste my time? Like,
I don't understand, and I see these people talking to like girls or other humans, and
how are they doing? Like,
yeah,
why are they putting up with this?
Yeah, and I kind of want to talk to them and just be like, oh, do you you lost your smell?
Yeah.
Was it COVID?
COVID.
Oh, okay,
gotcha.
you lost your smell. Oh, okay, cool.
I have to be conscious of my breath because my fiance she's a hound dog. Her scent is just like so potent, and it's just like, your breath stinks. And I'm like, I just brushed my teeth. I don't know how. I don't think I can do this.
My wife, I'm not allowed to kiss my wife if I have recently drank milk, because she's like,
What?
I can smell them.
She don't like milk?
I guess not. I mean, the thing is, she puts milk in her coffee every day.
Yeah.
But if I have a glass of milk and then I try to kiss her, she's kind of like, it smells like milk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Is that a bad?
Do you have milk often?
No. I stopped drinking milk because of this.
It's just easier.
It's just it's just like, I don't want to have to. If I want to kiss my wife, I don't want to have to be like, oh, when was my last dairy intake? It just, I don't know. What's the best like daily grooming routine?
Brushing my hair.
If you're listening, Enzo has a shaved head. It's very quick. Just
yeah. Daily grooming. I mean, besides brushing your teeth.
I guess it doesn't have to be daily, but like a grooming thing, like clipping your fingernails. That's not a daily thing.
But you like it's a satisfaction.
I actually hate clipping my fingernails, My go-to, my thing I absolutely love is cleaning out my ears. Oh my
You're a big
gosh.
Q-tip guy?
Oh no. My wife has this little pin that's got a camera on it with a little hook.
Oh, those things.
And you can watch like as you scrape out earwax.
Does those things really work?
Oh, they work so well.
Really?
They work so well.
I've always seen posts about them.
If cleaning out your ears is even a fraction of what it feels like when girls have sex, I would be the biggest slut in the world, dude. It feels so good to just that, like,
Your leg starts fucking.
yeah, like, oh man, when you get a big chunk out too, like, and you just like, you can feel it open up, and you're just
Yeah.
like, oh, this is all, like, your head feels lighter,
Yeah.
and like, you're like, oh, I can hear things again. Yeah.
I love that feeling. I don't get it a lot because I don't really clean my ears because I've always been scared of cleaning my ears. Because one time I cleaned my ear and I pushed earwax in and then it just like clogged up.
Yeah.
And then I had to go to an ear, nose, and throat doctor to get it removed. But like the emotional connection that I had with this woman when she removed the earwax from my ear, I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God. Like,
I think I love you.
Yeah. I
I-
wanted to ask her out. That moment, I'm like, can I help you with anything else? Like, maybe dinner?
Yeah.
Because it's
I
like,
know you pulled disgusting gunk out of my head, but did you want to, like, I don't know,
Get together?
hang out later?
maybe make some candles.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. No, it is a very satisfying feeling.
Oh, it's my favorite. It's my all-time favorite. Do you use Q-tips?
No.
Okay.
No,
Because
I'm
if you use
scared of
Q-tip,
those.
they'd say you're not supposed to use Q-tips.
No.
Because it just packs it in.
They say you're not supposed to stick anything in your ear that's bigger than your elbow.
Yeah, smaller than your elbow. But
Which, how did you
Right.
get to this conclusion?
Yeah. I
Like-
remember them teaching us that in school, and I remember raising my hand and being like, I can't fit my elbow in my ear. Like, I can't even get it to touch.
Yeah.
So, like, how do I know what? And they're like, oh, just figure
Just
it out.
freaking don't.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, I have to clean this out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. No, I don't really have a favorite.
get you one of those scrapers. It's next level.
Yeah?
It's next level. I did. It is a little traumatizing. I busted an eardrum when I was a kid. And so I've always kind of been sensitive around my ears, which actually one of my favorite ways to relax is if, like, my wife will just, like, rub my ears.
Really?
Like, if I just lay on the bed and I just kind of, like, lay back like that, and she'll sit there and rub my ears while
They
we
don't
watch.
get it red or hot. Oh no, dude, I can't have.
It's just a real gentle, like, it's not like she's, like, yanking on, pulling
Yeah.
them or whatever. She's not driving a car with my, you know,
Yeah.
but just like a real soft, the same way you would do to a dog. you
Yeah,
know, you
yeah.
just like rub a dog's ears and they're like, "Arr." Yeah, that's me. It's so relaxing. It's just, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what happened in my life. Thinking back on it, there was this girl in high school that I got really mad one day in class, and I was getting ready to, like, I thought I was going to get in a fight, and this girl I had a crush on, she just, like, reached up and just, like, she, like, touched my ear, and she was like, hey, calm down. And I was like, I'll follow you wherever you want to go. Like,
Yeah.
I will love you forever. I don't know.
That's hilarious. I have the same thing with Melanie. So sometimes I'm too focused, and I'm like this. Like my eyes are like peeled, and I'm like my eyebrows are up, and like this starts wrinkling. She'll
Yeah.
just be like, "Hey," and then she'll just do this. I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, I'll calm down." Yeah,
Your leg starts going,
yeah. But head scratches is my thing. If I get just like somebody just do it, not even head scratches, just rubbing my head.
Yeah.
It's that's my.
I'm a big physical touch person.
Yeah.
That is definitely my love language. And
But we don't like to get touched by people that are not our people.
yeah,
I don't-
oh yeah,
I
I'm very
don't-
selective.
Yeah, it's like I like it, but not you.
You got to be super close.
Like you
to-
almost fought that guy when he touched you. Remember outside the Funny Bone?
Which one was that? What?
Some drunk guy after a show touched.
been so many.
Yeah, touched you, and then you're like, you got all pissed. You came inside, you're all heated. He's like, this guy fucking touches me again. I'm gonna. And he was just a belligerent
Yeah, now
Yeah,
I remember
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Now I remember that. And I remember I remember him afterwards coming outside and be like, "Don't say anything." I'm like, "I'm not talking
Yeah.
to you. Just leave us alone,
Yeah,
man." It
he-
made me so uncomfortable because I remember that now because he came up and he like slapped me on the back
Yeah.
when I wasn't paying attention and I don't know him, and and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" Like we're about to go to war,
Yeah.
and I just yeah, I don't if I don't know you, please don't touch me. I don't feel like that's too much of a
Yeah, you're not asking for much.
yeah. If we're friends or acquaintances, a handshake, occasionally a hug, but if I don't know you real well, well, that was over an hour.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay,
I feel
that was
like we were
work.
just chatting.
Yeah, I did too. That works.
Let's. You want to do a rapid
Okay,
questions
rapid one. Best place to sit at a ball game?
behind first base?
Really, behind first base,
Yeah.
right here, like on the
Right there. I love it.
You like up high or you like kind of down low?
Somewhere in the middle. I don't want to be
Okay.
too close, but I want to be able to see the batter, see the plays, and I feel like that's a good spot.
There's an area kind of in between where you might get under the overhang.
And then you can go anywhere.
Yeah, and it blocks the sun.
Yes.
You're still close enough to where you can like be part of the game. It feels like.
Do you know? And well, I guess we can end on this. Do you know the Miami Dolphins Stadium? What they did?
Mm-mm.
So the Miami Dolphins Stadium, they set it up.
So the away team is in the sun.
The
Yes.
entire time.
Yeah.
Because how they did it is they added shade all around the stadium, but not on the field. And the way the sun rises, and most of the games are at 1 o'clock, the sun is directly hitting the bench of the opposing team. And I thought that's cheating. I don't think it's cheating. It was just, this is just.
That's just petty shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, and a lot of teams have to prepare for it. They're like, we have to bring like, extra fans with water and all that because
Miami.
yeah, dude.
in
In August, September, it's still 100 degrees there.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's Miami. It's
Yeah.
never going to be cold.
No.
You know what I mean? I like the first baseline's pretty cool. Although we went to Adam Wainwright's last game last year, me and a couple comedians, and we were at the very, very top, like past third base, like kind of by like the foul pole, but like at the very, very top.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it because there wasn't a ton of people around. We could just kind of be to ourselves. You kind of get left alone up there because people are like, all right, well, it's the nosebleeds. Who cares? Whatever. Let them do what they want.
Bums up there.
Yeah, exactly. Look at peasants.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not bad. If you've never sat in the nosebleeds, give it a shot.
Yeah.
On a game where it's not like a full sold out game, it's kind of cool. You kind of get to do what you want.
I prefer nosebleed instead of front row. So the Dolphins went 0-7 one year, and then I bought tickets to the Dolphins game, and I got 2 front row 50-yard line tickets for $120 total, and it was nuts. But it was like 6 weeks out, and then they started going on a spree, and they went like 7-6, and then the game that I went to, I could have sold those tickets for like $500 each. I couldn't see anything. The game was just like too close. I was just like, what's going on? It's just like I need a view from up top.
I know a lot of people that have said like they go to games and they'll like spend a lot of money to get like really good tickets, and they say the same thing. They're like, what's going on down there? Like, it's
an experience that you're close to the players, but it's not like you're talking to them.
I don't know if would you ever sit courtside at like a basketball game?
Courtside basketball is different. I think I would watch that.
You could probably
but any other sport, no, hockey and basketball, I would sit courtside.
Hockey's fantastic.
Yeah.
Hockey is my new favorite sport to go watch.
Yeah,
Because I don't understand the rules. I don't understand the offside.
they go freaking
icing.
fast.
Yeah. Them boys go fast.
Yeah.
No, but I love it. It's so much fun to watch, and it's just like the fans are there to party. You know what I mean? Baseball fans kind of annoy me because they're kind of like, I always say that baseball was made so math nerds could get sunlight. You know, like
They're just hanging out.
they're just hanging out
like-
doing statistics, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, he's got a
RBI.
and it's like, all right, man, let's.
Whatever.
This is you've turned it into something not fun anymore.
Playoff baseball's fun, but regular season's like,
And the last 2 minutes of every basketball game is good,
great.
but hockey is like that the entire time.
Yeah.
And I love that feeling.
Yeah.
I do miss football. I miss the Rams, man. I miss being able to go to a Rams game.
Yeah.
Even when they were bad, it was still good.
Yeah. Well, they got the Battlehawks.
That's true. That's true.
So
I want to go to a couple games this year.
yeah, we'll do that. I like that. I like that. I miss going to football games. It's fun.
I feel like I was talking about this with somebody the other day. It's like I love doing comedy, but you have to take time to do some other things.
Yeah.
Because if your whole life is just going to Mike's every night,
How are you gonna get material?
yeah, exactly. You have to have an experience to tell the story.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like you got to take time to turn that off and go out, and that's where material comes from. Is like when you're not trying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But-
Awesome.
All right, man. You want to plug your shows and social media again one more time?
Yeah. Enzo Comedy is my Instagram. I'll be opening up for Gary Veter at St. Louis Helium on August 24th. And if you want to go on a trip, you can follow my fiance and I at Travel Light Mel. It's our travel company. We do group trips and hikes all along, everywhere. We're going to Patagonia in November. She's going to Sedona in September, and we're going to Everest Base Camp in February. And then we're going to Machu Picchu next fall and Italy in next summer. So if you like to travel and you like to hike, give us a follow, and you can come on a trip with us.
It's kind of it's like a, not all inclusive, but it's like a pre-planned.
Everything.
She does it all, right? Like
All you got to do is buy your flight and buy a spot, and we pretty much take care of the rest. Food, lodging, transportation, itineraries, activities. It's everything.
Your pictures looked insane.
Yeah,
Where
they're
did you just get back from? Was it Italy?
Yeah, we went to the Italian Dolomites. We did the Alta Via 1, which was super, super fun. It was a 9-day trek, and people think it's like grungy, but like we're hiking and it's tough. But like once we get to these refugios, it's like a resort, and like with amazing food, and we're like sleeping in bed. So it's like you get best of both worlds. Because I mean, if I gotta hike and then sleep in a tent, fuck that. Like I can't. Like I need good sleep.
Yeah.
And they give you good breakfast, and yeah, so it's an all included trip that it's just for out. I think of it's like adult summer camp. It's just like people just want to go and do something fun and travel, but don't want to plan it. You just go on one of our trips. Yeah.
Well, it sounds super fun, and it always looks like it's a great time.
Yeah.
So yeah, make sure you check out his fiance and go see his show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right. That's it, everybody. I'll see you next week.
Bye.